All right, we go to the next. So it says, let me reduce this. Now, this is a webinar organizer. We're going to run quickly because we are, like I said, the time is against us. So school growth indicators versus game changers. And then we have research insight, to innovation and instructional leadership. We have conceptualizing innovation, conceptualizing instructional leadership, the imperative for instructional leadership, strategies for task areas and of an instructional leader, and finally your action points. Now let's go. Let's get the ball rolling. School growth indicators versus game changers. Do you have your pen and your writing materials? Are you taking notes? Because next session is going to be fire. It's going to be fire. Mr. Tess has said that earlier. Now, what are some school growth indicators? The first, like in no order of priority, we have the enrollment boost, we have teacher retention, we have revenue, of course, that's quite important. Then school outcomes, that's the quality of instructions, and then the outcomes from there, the outcomes from what happens to the, of course, operations. Then we have, did I stop sharing part? Yeah, I'm so sorry. Can we still see the screen?
Yes, you can, ma.
Wow.
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Slide number 4.
So, all right, if you can see, that's fine. I lost it at the point. So we have student, oh, the screen share is paused. Technology can be wonderful. So we have student retention, and then parental to community involvement. And then please, there's something missing out here. I don't know how it disappeared from my screen. Oh, it's there. Teacher retention. I know many school owners here, school leaders are asking, how do we retain teachers? Teacher attrition or turnover is getting, to the peak, and everyone is crying, right? So these are all growth indicators. Now, what are the game changers? How do you achieve these? How do you mark this index? We have innovation. Please look at that. In the 21st century landscape, like I said earlier, please, you must be, not you may or you will, you must be an innovative school or innovative leader. Curriculum must be top-notch. It must be robust. Now, quality of instructions, look at that. And that's what we'll be dealing with today. I think the first 4 or thereabout, we're already handling them today. Instructional leadership. Then we'll have leadership and management, systems and structure, school culture, customer experience, financial management, and then marketing. This as your game changers. Please take notes. Time may not permit me to go through some of them. Let's focus on what we have today. I am big on research, and you should, okay? If you're an instructional leader, if you are a progressive leader, please, I want you to be big on data and what? Research. And there's no way we can bring in what we're doing today. There's no way we can dissect instructional leadership without asking, what does research say? What is data saying? So let's see what research says. Research says that 87%, oh my God, look at the number. 87% of executives believe innovation is essential to their organization's success and growth. Please, can you hear me? Someone confirm that you can hear me. Just kindly unmute. The chat may take a long time.
Yes, ma, we can hear you perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, wonderful. Thank you. We can now unmute. I can see everyone on fire. I can see people are on fire. Now, 87% of executives like you all over the world believe that innovation is essential to their organization's growth and, success and growth. Who is saying that? McKinsey. Of course, when you hear that name, you know they are big on research. Any research from them, any evidence from them is not to be joked with, right? Look at number 2, what research says. Companies, schools that actively promote a culture of innovation are 3 to 5 times, look at the numbers, 3 to 5 times more likely to outperform their peers. Woo! Then we have 85% of all GDP growth has come from innovation. Wonderful. Wonderful. Now look at the one that will amaze you, I think. Of course, if you are a researcher, if you are a 21st century school leader, there's no way you won't know Vivian Robinson. And anything coming from that woman, of course, is top notch. In her inflation book, if you haven't read this, go and read it. Student-centered leadership. She highlighted a meta-analysis of 30 studies, 30 whooping studies, showing the following leadership practices and their impact on school outcomes. Now, look at the leadership practice. Look at the effect size on a scale of 0 to 1. It says leading teacher learning and development, my goodness, 0.84. Ensuring quality teaching, 0.42. Establishing goals and expectations, 0.42. Then we have resourcing strategy, 0.31. Ensuring an orderly and safe environment, 0.27. Please, if you are wowed by the numbers, can you just say wow in the comment section, in the chat? Now we are going to, you can see that, I was trying to woo you. Let me say that. I was trying to woo you into believing that instructional leadership or anything instructions in your school is the number one business you have in your school. Please take note. This is the number one business. Don't get distracted. Give this a top, priority. It says that leadership, the first three borders around instructions. I hope you believe this. Are we together, please? I'm not seeing your chats. I'm not seeing the comment coming. I don't know if we're still together, if you've lost me. The connection.
Yes, we can hear you perfectly.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I just want to be sure that the connection is not playing on us. So you can see that the first three indicators are actually bordered around instructions. And please, let me break this down. When we talk about instructions, we actually mean teaching and learning, what the teachers do in the classroom. We're talking about pedagogy. So we need to define that so that we know how to use it in context, all right? So the first three here border around instructions. That's how powerful. If you are not big on this, then that means you're not big on the you're not looking at this effect size. So let's go on. What is innovation? Now that we have looked at the numbers, we have seen what executive leaders, educators all over the world are doing. Can we now ask ourselves, what's innovation? Now, it's a way of thinking first, not tools. When I am having conversations with school leaders and I tell them you have to be innovative, they say, well, we don't have money to deploy technology. Who is innovation is first of all about technology? That's not true. It's a way of thinking first. When you change the way you think, every other thing follows suit. It's not about tools. For number two, it is the introduction of something new. That's according to Merriam-Webster. Now, it is doing old things in a new way. There's something you're already doing in your school, all right, in terms of instructions. You are now doing them in a refined way, or you are improving old services, processes, and even your business model. There's some people that their business model has remained the same way from the beginning, from when they started that business. Yes, if it's working, it's fine. But are you sure that you are not sleeping? Are you sure? And then finally, look at how I put that on the where it is on the radar. Tools and technology comes last for me. That's the truth. As important as it is, you ensure that you have that right thinking and innovative thinking, and then you will be able to understand how to deploy tools and technology. Let's run along. The question now is, what's instructional leadership? Ooh, as a school leader, this is your core duty. When you see me put something in capital letters, it means that thing is worth emphasizing, all right? It is your core duty, your number one duty in that school. This is your number one point of call. And it's often stolen by many obligations on your calendar. You're busy in the office doing a lot of things, all right? Taking procurement, doing this and that, dealing with partners, government, operations, and then all that, your attention is stolen from the number one thing that should be on your list. Now, it's also everything you do to improve quality of instructions and learning outcomes. And then if you are big on definitions, take this working definition. It means empowering teachers to become architects of learning. Now, who skillfully integrate pedagogical expertise, social and emotional learning. I will explain all these things as we tag along to create inclusive, learner-focused environment or engagement that foster academic excellence. Look at that. You are transforming teachers to become architects. They are becoming designers, skillful pedagogical experts. This is what you're doing. And if it's not happening in your school, the problem is you, first of all, not the teachers. If the quality of instructions they are warped or they are not as they should be in your school, then you need to look inward, first of all. You need to answer some questions before you point accusing fingers on what? On the teachers. So for them to become skillful, for them to become designers of instructions, you need to coach them. But then the question is, how can you coach them when you don't even know global best practices in instructions? How is that possible? I have taken an informal survey over the years, and I keep asking teachers, who do you call your best leader? All through your career, who's that leader you can never forget? And what did that leader do differently? And one of the things they mention, apart from systems and structure, empathy, they tell you that these are leaders that inspire their craft. The classrooms. So if there is a disconnect between you and what goes on in the classroom, you have probably, or you're actually losing the point. You're actually losing your first calling. All right, so let's go on. You cannot succeed at this. You can't without frequent presence in the classroom. There's a need for us to dust our ass and then get into the classroom. According to research, I always quote research because it's evidence-based. Okay, so according to research, powerful instructional leaders visit the classroom at least 2 times a week. So if you're even doing every day, having a contact with the classroom, doing walkthroughs, observations, I wish you were here. I need to give you a hug. I need to give you a high five. So please remain in the office 24/7, week in, week out. You are not an instructional leader. I'm sorry that I'm sounding this way, but we have to tell ourselves the truth.